in one of these really kind of spaced out sort of dreamy places today where all I really want to do is just kind of like sit and color and just sort of drift. But I realized it's really a perfect mood for today's crystal, Herkimer diamond, which is very, very third eye oriented in terms of its energy, and is a crystal that I actually often recommend for dreams, for vision work, for psychic activation, for all kinds of spiritual and creative goodness. So, and I'm going to begin the Herkimer diamond channeling. Ooh, yeah, right away felt that energy. Some common symptoms that you guys may experience when you're working with third eye crystals or third eye activation crystals is that you may actually feel physical pressure here, or tension, or especially, as the chakra is expanding, the energy is expanding. You can certainly feel just even kind of like minor sort of headache, or even like little pinpricks, pins and needles, or even kind of like a pulsing, which is what I'm feeling right now, this kind of pulsing energy. And so that's all quote unquote normal. Especially when you're working with something like Herkimer diamond, which is slightly stronger than quartz. Even physically, quartz measures a 7 in terms of measurements of hardness. Herkimer diamond is 7.5. So we're getting into a quartz that's evolving, that's growing. What's considered to be the most evolved of the quartzes is the diamond at a 10. But yeah, so I'm feeling this activation, I'm feeling this expansion. Any of you who are tuning in while holding your Herkimer, you may be feeling that as well. And it just really kind of went right there. I'm feeling the energy from my throat up, not so much in the crown area, but it's more in here, which are two of our major psychic centers. We've got the throat chakra here, which is, our clairaudience, our ability to hear spirit, to hear ourselves, to hear what's in the ethers. Ooh, there goes my chi, my other palm. And then also the third eye, and of course we've got the pineal gland, which is activating there. And so I'm feeling actually even just like a little kind of vortex, sort of whirlpool spinning happening there. And what it's telling me is that this will oftentimes happening when we're kind of tuning into our psychic centers, especially our telepathic, our abilities, our ability to communicate through thought, our ability to communicate spiritually through our minds, as opposed to vocally, or as opposed to through our emotions, or opposed to physically with our actions, but being able to communicate with our mind. And so it's saying it literally like opens up and creates a receiver. So it's almost like your third eye, I'm starting to get chills, your third eye becomes an antenna of sorts, or a satellite dish, if you will, that's sort of opening up, and it's receiving messages from spirit. And they're saying that this can be, I want to say transdimensional, but there goes the energy clearing. Any kind of particular dimensional form. So they're saying, regardless of what type of deity or spirit or consciousness you may be seeking to connect with, whether it's ascended master, whether it's teachers from other dimensions, whether it's ET, whether it's Fae, whether it's spirit animal, whatever it might be, it helps to open up that connection, that receiver. So it's saying, especially for any of you who feel blocked, who feel disconnected, or feel like you want to strengthen these levels of communication, you can, working with Herkimer quartz. And I'm seeing now how that spiraling is moving into the mind, it's moving into the psyche, and it's saying there's deep access there in terms of the subconscious. And It's saying for those of you who are working on healing on a subconscious level, or also this word planting or implanting subconscious suggestion, whether it's in the form of hypnotherapy, whether it's manifestation, whether it's affirmations. If you sit and hold Herkimer Diamond for a couple of minutes before you start doing that work, what it's showing me is not only is it a receiver in terms of spiritual communication and information, but it's also something that then transmits and downloads into the subconscious mind. So we can work with it even in terms of a practical level, in terms of planting in our subconscious mind healthy affirmations, key word there, healthy affirmations, empowering affirmations, but also intentions, things you're seeking to manifest. And a reminder that manifestation is not always about, physical accumulation or physical attraction. There's nothing wrong with that. We manifested ourselves on a physical plane, and so we're meant to engage with it. But it's also showing how we can set intentions that are completely the word transpersonal comes through, but I think that's a sort of an elision of two words, a transformation on a personal level. So if there are different ways that you want to think, if there are different skills you want to tap into or activate, or if there are different parts of yourself you want to cultivate, habits you want to change, whatever it is, you can work with Herkimer by visualizing that intention or focusing on that intention in your mind, because this is a very visual, very mental crystal overall, to help implant those in your subconscious. And the key thing is focus, really being able to focus cleanly. If you can only focus for 5 seconds, then you focus powerfully on it for 5 seconds, and then you put the crystal down. If you can do it for longer, then do it for longer. That's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing this whole sort of spiral action going through my mind, starting here and going through all the way to the back, which could also be the chakra energy, because our chakras spiral in either direction, front and back. And I'm also definitely seeing connection to the dream plane, to the vision plane, because it's saying there's so many different levels and layers of reality. And commonly we tend to embrace just the one 3D or 4D, if you will, physical reality in front of us. But it's saying that even science, even physics, holds and maintains that there are different realities just around us, just connected to us even fractally through sacred geometry, in which we create our realities, but in which other realities exist, the invisible world. Herkimer helps us to see into that invisible world. I just got some shivers again. It helps us to connect into that invisible world, and so that could be the dream state or dreamscape is what I'm seeing, because oftentimes our dreams are very real, either in terms of the emotions that we're processing or what's going on in our world that we're processing, but also in terms of what we can access. There's very powerful medicine and journey work that we can do on the dream plane. And it's saying, again, holding that Herkimer diamond, how this actually works. This is interesting. I didn't know this. So this is new for me too. How this actually works when we're seeking to remember our dreams or do dream work, it's the exact same thing. It's opening up that satellite dish to receive from spirit, but then it's transmitting, processing, downloading, major chills, downloading that information into our subconscious so that we can experience it on the dreamscape, but then we can also remember it in our waking lives, our waking conscious lives, so that we can use that information for our highest good. And it's showing me that it's especially potent for prophecy, it's especially potent for receiving guidance, it's especially potent for healing, like healing questions, like how can I heal my gut issue? How can I heal my skin issue? How can I, what do I need to know in terms of gaining weight, losing weight, how to shift this chronic sinus infection, whatever it might be, working with it in that way too. And so what it's showing me is, again, a teaching that I share of sitting and holding this just for 5 minutes. And again, really, really focusing on the intention. Focus is so important. It's saying our focus is crazy spread over so many different things at any one point in time, thoughts, stimulants, and the things that stimulate us, visuals, TV, all this other stuff. And even though this is a really, really high powered crystal, at the same time it's like a laser beam. It's really focused. So letting your thoughts, letting your intention become a laser beam, and then letting the energy of Herkimer do that work in terms of grounding it into our beingness and our psyches. And so the channeling is now winding down. I could probably do one of these for like an hour, but I do try to stay within the 10-minute mark. So that's Herkimer Diamond. That's our channeling for today. And so I hope that was of service to you. And I will see you all same time, same place next week.